We all just want to be happy, so they say. But what does that actually mean? Because happiness, as far as most people are concerned, is an emotion. It's a feeling, right? And that, in and of itself, is fleeting. To be happy all the time is not only unrealistic, but it's very odd. You wouldn't actually want to be happy all the time because you'd be missing out on so much of the human experience, of this beautiful, rich tapestry of what it means to be alive. So, what do we really want? We want to be triggerless. Essentially, we want to be able to face whatever experience comes our way. We want to be able to be in the moment, present with what is, without being thrown off or affected or swayed into an unconscious state, a negative spiral, a self-judgmental or outwardly judgmental state. To be triggerless, funnily enough, is actually to be vulnerable. True vulnerability is a sensitivity, a receptivity to what is, without projecting, defining, limiting, containing what is to some idea or concept, and then either running towards it or running away from it, trying to escape it, trying to numb it, or trying to hold on to it. This is the essence of suffering. It's the desire or the avoidance of what is, rather than just being with, allowing, and receiving. And to be triggerless is to be at ease, to be okay, to be in acceptance of whatever is in your experience. But it's easier said than done. How do you actually become triggerless? Again, vulnerability, which is the allowing of your emotionality, your reactivity, your own perceptions of what is, to be understood. But you can't understand and accept what you're unaware of. You see, the key to vulnerability is awareness. It's how often are we interacting, responding and reacting out of unconsciousness? And so much of this unconsciousness is suppressed and repressed feelings, thoughts, beliefs, all of which we've made wrong, all of which we've buried deep down because somebody somewhere along the way in our life said, that's not okay. Culture said, that's no good. And then when we recognized or felt that in ourselves or saw it out in the world, we said, no, no, no. Can't have that. And that gets bottled up. And it gets turned into this reactivity, this trigger, which spins you out, spirals you down into this unconscious, projective, reactive state. And often this is very, very subtle. It requires a keen awareness to recognize when we're actually triggered, because we've been so programmed to just outsource, to blame other people, to play the victim. And that's why being triggerless is being vulnerable. And it is the one thing that is not truly encouraged in our world. Because I'm not talking about the kind of vulnerability which is this new age, sharing our feelings, just be authentic. That's nonsense. It's all a part of this let's pretend, virtue signaling, politically correct garbage. True vulnerability is being unfuckwithable. It's being so okay with yourself, so willing to see, to recognize, to embrace, to allow all that you are, and to not project that outward, to not make anyone wrong, to not judge anything, because all of that is a reflection of you. It's a reflection of what you've buried deep down, which you now define as wrong. There is no right or wrong. And it's these notions which contain us and which are containing humanity to a small and limited version of who we truly are. And when we can be ourselves and allow everyone to be as they are, to allow this moment, this experience to be as it is, then we truly have the power to be free, to be at peace, to be happy, to be triggerless. And that is what we all desire deep in our hearts. But for the most part, we are unwilling to take responsibility for. We would much rather outsource it, blame it, put it out here, and then from behind a short wall, throw rocks at it, name call, blame, all to perpetuate our victimhood. That is the only thing keeping you from being triggerless and free. It's sort of ironic, isn't it? That the sensitivity, the vulnerability, the sensuality with all that you are and all that is actually the secret to true freedom.